As a game designer, it involves so much problem solving. It's a lot of fun, yes, but it's also a lot of hard work. Hi, I'm Anjali. I'm a game designer. Some of the projects that I've recently worked on have been Forza Horizon 5 Rally Adventure, Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels, and then Forza Horizon 5's live program. And beyond that, I've worked on smaller games like Chitter Critters, Through Their Eyes, and a couple of other projects. My day-to-day can often involve designing experiences for players, be it through research. So sometimes you might be documenting various ideas, mechanics, and skills, which means that you would be working in a game engine. It could be Unity, it could be Unreal Engine, and what you might be doing is adding props, prefabs, maybe making some tools, and then finally towards the end of production, you would be doing any bug fixes, constantly testing the game, playing the game. And that's generally what it means to be a game designer. Prerequisite, I will definitely say, is knowing the design principles. In terms of key skills, I would say critical analysis and critical thinking is really important. Your day-to-day as a game designer involves so much problem solving that without listening you can't achieve it really well. So if I give you the example of a door in a level, for example, somebody comes back and tells you, hey, this door that you have in the level, it's great and we can open it, but only 15 seconds after the player has loaded in. But what you need to figure out is, well, what are we going to get the players to do for 15 seconds? So now you're going to have a pop-up that says, hey, the door's locked, you're going to have to figure out how to do this. So now, in order to keep them occupied for 15 seconds, you can design a puzzle for them to get a key. They've got the key, now they can open the door, and there's no issues. Following that, I definitely say some technical skills, whether it was through computer science, is really important. I'd also say maths and physics. I know that a lot of people say, oh no, in games, you don't have that much maths and physics. You have a lot of maths and physics. Finally, programming, I would say. As a technical designer, you would need to be really programming heavy. You'd need to be an expert practically. Speaking, I would definitely say is a great practical skill to have. Build your portfolio as early as possible. There's so many game engines today, like Twine, which is a great game engine to make text-based adventures. You don't need to know any programming or hardly any coding. If you look at applications like RenPy, that's another good example, RPG Maker MV. If you really want to get into the hardcore stuff, then you've got Unity and Unreal Engine. Just make games. And I know the advice sounds very simple and maybe very silly. It's a lot of fun, yes, but it's also a lot of hard work. And the easiest way to know immediately whether or not you like this is just make a game. Whether it is a physical prototype, so you could make a little card game. You've got paper, pencil, you can make a card game. You can make a board game. Again, paper, pencil, that's really all you need. I didn't think it was an actual job for the longest time. I sort of ended up doing it because I remember I had done it for an undergraduate project, and it was the first project that I had submitted where I got to see people play the assessment. And it was a visual novel, not overly complicated, relatively simple, but they were delighted by the fact that the music changed, there were little sound effects, dialogues could change, the choices changed, and everything that they did affected what happened in the rest of the game. So I did my master's, said, I confirmed, yeah, I really enjoyed this, I like working with people, it seems like a lot of fun. And then 2 years I've spent in the industry, so here I am. A lot of companies today will definitely offer you associate or graduate positions. I know that Playground Games does offer some. I think Creative Assembly, if I remember right, offered some as well. And essentially it is for school students to come in, experience what the industry might be like for a couple of months, and then decide whether this is it for them. BAFTA's mentorship program, that was something that I was part of. Networking is important. If you're not too nervous and you have a game you really like and you know who the designer is, send them a message on LinkedIn. I can tell you, most of us are absolutely delighted to be able to tell you what we're doing. Beyond that, you've got Into Games, which is a great program. You've got GOG. I think GOG had the Rising Stars program. Finally say at the end of all this is find a community that you think really works for you. Stick with that community because they will help you grow.